Her husband kept a secret from her about her own sister. Her own sister for weeks. Who's wrong here?
I need you guys to help me settle a marital fight. It's a very serious one, okay? Take this very seriously. My husband kept a secret from me for multiple weeks about my family, all right? So I'm sitting on the bed one day, and I get a text from my sister, who is in Turkey. She was in Turkey traveling.
The country?
Yes, the country.
The city of Turkey?
Yeah, not just
I don't know.
city?
Is there a Turkey somewhere in the United
I'm
States?
sure somewhere.
There's a Paris, Kentucky.
Yeah. So she sends me, it says, wanted you to know first. And it's a picture of her with the engagement ring.
Oh, check it.
Yay!
Yay.
And it's her
Nice.
and her, now my future and brother-in-law, but her boyfriend, now fiance.
Yeah.
Ralph. So they're in the picture, wanted you to know first, little like sparkly on her finger. And I'm like, what? So I call her. I forget she's in Turkey. She's like, I think you're roaming minutes or something. Like one of us is paying for this. I was like, I don't care. Congratulations. And then we hang up within like 50 seconds before they can trace the call. You know, thinking I'm saving money. I'm flipping out. Blair is out buying crickets for his lizard.
No, literally.
Yeah, literally. So he's at Petco, and I'm waiting for him to get home because I'm like, he hasn't said anything on the text chain yet. I can't wait for him to come in the door. So he comes to the door, and I'm like, my sister Bliss is engaged. This is Littlefoot. You guys have talked to her before.
Yeah.
Remember Littlefoot? So Littlefoot's engaged. So I'm flipping out. And Blair comes in, and he's like, oh, yay. That's great. And then the group text lights up, and Ralph is like, technically Blair knew first. But we wanted you to see the ring first, Davi. And I was like, what?
You have to say that.
So I see the text, and then I look at my husband like, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, when we were in St. Pete visiting them 3 weeks ago, Ralph and I swam out into the ocean. I don't know if they were doing a little pee or some man time. But Ralph said, by the way.
When you see that, you immediately think B.
Yeah, like, look at you. You've been in the sand drinking beer for hours, and now you're doing a little swim. Okay. So they go out for a little swim, and they were out there for like 20 minutes. My sister and I are on the beach, like having a ball. They come back. Nobody's the wiser. But I find out weeks later that was the moment. Ralph was like, Blair, let's go for a little swim. And then he's like, by the way, I'm going to propose to Davi's sister, Bliss.
But it was like brother-in-law bonding.
I guess.
Did he specifically say, will you keep this between the two? Don't tell Davi yet, okay?
That's what Blair said. He didn't specifically say don't tell Davi. He just said top secret.
Okay. Blair's a good man.
What?
Blair's a good man.
I agree.
It's my sister.
Blair's a good man.
I agree.
Because you don't want to hear that from him. You want to hear it from your
You're
sister.
not on my side either?
I'm sorry.
I thought I'd have at least one of you.
No, I know that some people say there really are no secrets. Like, if you tell me not to tell Tiffany, then chances are pretty good I'm going to tell Tiffany. Sometimes that's assumed. That's not my case. Like, if you tell me not to say anything to anybody, I'm doing the same thing Blair is.
And plus, this is a positive. Like this is a happy secret. This is not a malicious secret or a dirty secret. So you want to get the for your memory bank. You want that to come from your sister,
Yep.
not from your husband.
If it were me, I would tell my wife probably any secret unless the secret came from her family because I wouldn't want to break that either. So I would probably hold on to that.
You want to get in good
Yeah.
with the new fam.
If it was my
by
family, I
keeping the
probably
top
wouldn't care.
secret.
They was like, don't tell your wife.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
tell.
Tell everybody.
Yeah.
So let's go down this road for a second. So somebody comes to you, Mo, at this point you're married or whatever, and says, look, just keep this between you and I. You're still going to tell your wife?
More than likely, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not.
No?
Really?
Uh-uh.
I feel like I would tell my wife everything.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I want him to tell me everything.
Except that. I wouldn't have told you
Not
that.
that. Damn it. Just so, because I tell him secrets and stuff. I understand it was a positive and it was like really fun for me to open up the text and see this. That was exciting. But, and when we talked about it, I was like, you knew? And he's like, yeah, but it was top secret. I'm like, you knew? And you kept it from me. I was just losing my mind. And then he was like, well, I didn't know if you would tell her. And I was like,
oh no, now Blair should not have said
Okay,
that.
yes. Yes.
you thought
Okay.
I was going to tell my sister and ruin her proposal? And he's like, well, also, it's my future brother-in-law, and I want to be friends with him. I'm like, you should have said that first.
He
Okay.
messed that all
Well,
up.
but
He
no.
did.
He did.
To be fair, Davi, it's happened numerous times on the show.
Oh,
You do.
Stop. stop.
You do
don't-
have a history.
You have
I ruined surprises like 14 times. It only happened like 14 times.
You don't do it on purpose. It's very innocent and very sweet, and you're cute when you do it. But
It's cute. I mean, that's a nice way to say it.
but
So
it has
annoying.
been done numerous times.
This is taking a lot of twists and turns, though, because if the brother-in-law doesn't specifically say, just keep this between you and I, which it sounded like he did, top secret, that's one thing. But if Blair said, I just kept it from you because I was afraid that you would slip up, then he's at the fault.
That's fair.
Yeah, his second place reasoning was my future brother-in-law. Like, this was bro time bonding. I couldn't ruin that. If this person's going to be a part of my family, and they really get along, like they're
That's
so
awesome.
cute. It's adorable. So I'm so happy this is happening. I'm like overwhelmed with joy. I'm very verklempt, but then I'm like, Blair,
How dare
kept a
you?
secret from me. But I did appreciate his second place reasoning, which was like what you guys said. You want to get and go with the family. But first he threw me under the bus. Which I really thought one of y'all was going to be on my side. This is very, okay, you settled my marital fight.
Yeah.
I lost.
Yes.
Welcome to the world where everybody likes your spouse more than they like you.
This is lame. Okay, sorry, Blair. I love you. You were right.
I'm president of the club. You can be vice president.
Oh, yay.
It's totally fine.
The Bert Show.